Well, good afternoon. We are currently in Grand Junction, Colorado, headed west into Utah, and we are headed to Moab. This is a really exciting trip that I've been looking forward to for weeks. I'm currently on my way to Arches National Park. I'll be camping a couple of nights in there, and I plan on doing just some exploring through Arches, but the off-road trail that I'm really excited to be doing, which will be tomorrow, is 7 Mile Rim. So this is going to be just a really nice trip. It's currently Thursday afternoon right now, so we'll get there mid-afternoon, and I'm hoping to hit up some of the cool back roads that they have in the national park before I head over to my campsite. So the drive's been great. Driving through the Rocky Mountains was absolutely beautiful this time of year in January right now. Just fully snow covered all over the place until you get over to the western slope, and then it starts to dwindle down. One slight issue I'm having right now is my propane situation. So I have a small 2-gallon propane tank that I use for a gas fire pit that I bring around when I'm camping. And I neglected to get that filled up yesterday. So I figured I'd get it filled up on the trip out here. And specifically, I was going to get it filled up in Grand Junction. None of the gas stations that I stopped at that had propane available. They were all empty, all out of propane. So I went ahead and called a gas station out in Moab, and the gentleman was nice enough to let me know that he only does exchanges, but he told me that there's a Chevron, a Shell, and a 7-Eleven that all do fill-ups. So I'm really happy about that. Unfortunately, it will be a slight detour, and by the time we get to the park now, realistically, it will be about 3 o'clock. But sunset is around 5:30. So I think I'm still gonna do some exploring once we finally get in the park, because why not? Now, out in Moab, it's gonna be a high of around 45 and a low of 18, 19, which is cold, don't get me wrong, but the forecast has shown that they haven't had any sort of snow or rain in weeks, and they're not gonna for at least another week or so. So it's nice and dry out there, and should be perfect conditions to have some fun wheeling. And yeah, since it is gonna be cold out there at night, it is gonna be nice to have the propane for the gas fire pit so I could relax by the fire before bed. And also about my sleeping arrangement, I'm not doing any tent camping. I am gonna be sleeping in the back of the Jeep, and I'll show you guys that setup later once we get to the campsite. But I'm really excited about that. I actually tested it out the other night in my garage, where it got down to like the low 30s in my garage, and it was great. I slept like a baby. So yeah, super excited. Let's get our propane, get to the park, do some exploring, and then set up camp. All right, and we found our propane. Good, let me head inside, get this filled, and we'll be on our way. All right, so we've made it. We're at Arches National Park, and I was able to retrieve another annual national park pass. I've been getting these national park passes every year for the past, I guess, like past 5-6 years. Yeah, maybe more actually, maybe the past 7 years. But I get one of these every year. It's $80, and it gives you entrance to every national park in America, as well as I think specific national monuments, but also what's interesting is this is an interagency pass. So it applies to a lot of federal land, U.S. forests that may have an entrance fee, like a $10 entrance fee or whatnot. I've come across it already a lot in Colorado, and it's great. So if you are someone who loves road tripping and loves going to national parks as well as just other parks in general, federal, get yourself an interagency pass, an annual one. This thing's great. Wow, it's been years since I've last been here, and this place is crazy. It is just stunning, actually, these rock formations. Wow. It's going to be really cool driving through here in a little bit. Oh man, I can't wait. This is cool. Yeah, no, my wife and I came here. I guess it was six or 7 years ago. It was amazing then, and it's amazing right now. I can't believe I just drove 7 hours and am here now. So, yeah. Okay, so I arrived at the campsite. It is so quiet here. Look at this view. There's the Jeep right there. And right from my back window when I'm sleeping in the Jeep, I'll be looking at this. Wow. This is surely special. All right, I'm gonna get camp set up, and then we'll do a little bit more exploring. Yeah, I was doing a little bit of a whisper just there because I got a couple neighbors and I didn't want to disturb them, but that campsite is so beautiful. I'm so happy. When I first rolled in, I was gonna choose just the first 1 or 2 campsites, which didn't have a view at all, but I decided, let me just drive up the whole campground and see what it's got. I'm happy I did. Oh man, that's gonna be it's gonna be a nice time there. So it's 3:37 right now, and I want to do some exploring. I want to go check out the Tower Arch Trail over here. It's about a 20-minute drive from me right now, so we're probably going to finish up while the sun's coming down, I can imagine. But even so, that's not a big deal. We know where we are, and it's nothing too demanding. Honestly, it's going to look really cool driving out here in the sunset. So we're heading over there now. this is our stop. Rough 4-wheel drive road, right to the left. My air pressure reader, its battery's dead. I need to get a manual one. I'm gonna get my pump and I'll check the pressure that way, I guess. I don't need to check it. I know how low the tires look, so I'll probably get it between 15 and 20. I ended up checking with the pump. I hit 15. All right, we're gonna be 15.5 all the way around, it seems. I'm good with that. So this is the Tower Arch Trail as labeled on X. It should be pretty straightforward. So far seems like just a dirt road. I know there's a few ledges and obstacles on it, but for the most part it shouldn't be anything too challenging. I'm just hoping for some really good views. Right now we got some rutted sand here that I'm in, and no issues whatsoever with it. Just a little floaty, but nothing crazy. Yeah, so I'll say, this is honestly going slower than I expected. I think I'm about halfway through now. It is 4:50. We got sundown in conservatively an hour. So I'm just gonna keep going until we get to the end. It was some decent roads we just went down. And here, we're still going down some more decent roads. Let me get this. So with sway bar links disconnected, this could be pretty fun over here. But I don't got them disconnected, so I'm just gonna keep it around the edge. Someone left some garbage. Okay, so we are losing daylight. I think it seems like we got about 20 minutes or so left of daylight right now, but we are almost, you can see it right there. That's the tower arch. Oh, wow. Yeah, I was considering turning back around like 5-10 minutes ago. You know, I'm happy I didn't. I have lights anyways, and this trail, you know, at the beginning of it, I said it's just a dirt road with some rocks. It's definitely not. It actually has some decent obstacles on it. It's not, I would consider this an easy to moderate trail for sure, but it's not boring at all. It's actually very fun, and because you take your time with a lot of these obstacles one after the other, it takes quite a while to get through here. This is the end of the four-wheel drive road to Tower Arch, and here is the hiking trail. Oh, that's so cool. So we made it all the way. I'm not gonna be able to do the hike right now because we gotta get back to camp, but let's get out and take a look at this for a moment. Okay, so here we are in Arches National Park, right at sunset, and we've made it all the way to Tower Arch, up the Tower Arch 4x4 road. Yeah, that road actually was pretty good. It was more than I expected it was gonna be. I know it's rated as a 4 to 10 on OnX, but I also didn't see much about it. Maybe only a few videos, a few pictures, but no, that ended up being a really cool trail. Definitely a lot of obstacles, and look at this. We got the beautiful 2021 Jeep JL Sport S in Arches National Park up the Tower Arch 4x4 trail. Look at that. Pretty friggin' cool. All right, so the sun is quickly setting over here, and I'm probably a good hour and 20 minutes back to camp. So I'm gonna hop on in, and we are gonna make our way back all the way to camp. I'm happy I came out here instead of just hanging out at camp. This is so cool. Not a single person out here. Quiet and peaceful. This is very nice. Here we are with the Jeep JL in Arches National Park. And tomorrow we're gonna be doing a 7-mile rim right outside the outskirts of Arches and outskirts of Canyonlands technically as well. Right across the road. So that's gonna be something else. Getting up bright and early for that one. All right. Yeah, before it gets any darker, I'm gonna head out. Yep, so where we just came from is Tower Arch, which was 1.3 miles that way, and where we're going is Salt Valley Road. We're almost halfway back. Now if you head this way, that is towards Eye of the Whale Arch. I think that's like 20 or 30 miles. I'm not entirely sure, but we're heading towards Salt Valley Road. Let's go. As you can see, we've lost daylight, but you know what? I'm good, because I'm all lit up. Man, yeah, honestly, this is a really great road. Huh. Oh man, you know, I do wish I disconnected my sway bar, but I didn't need it at all, actually. Just choose the lines properly and I'm not gonna get tippy, and I haven't. This is nice, a nice ledge. We're gonna go up here as well. Let's see, uphill. I'm gonna put my tires over here, and we're going up. Yeah, nice. And once again, don't get me wrong, this is it's pretty, it's steep. You know, you could see some people their tires have skidded on these rocks and whatnot. Just take it nice and slow, in for low, and also have good tires. You'll make your way up, no problem. All right, so it's 9 o'clock now. We're inside the Jeep and ready for bed. I went ahead and got 2 hot water bottles filled with pretty much boiling water, threw them in the sleeping bag, as well as a hand warmer or 2 in there. So I got the sleeping bag nice and warm because my toes were cold. The sleeping bag is nice and warm right now, and it's currently 22 degrees outside. So in the Jeep, it's probably 28, 29. It usually, as far as I've tested, stays between 5 and 7 degrees warmer in here. And something that I'm happy that I got are these reflective window screen shades. They're meant to keep heat out of the Jeep. They're actually cut per window. What I did for most of them, I went ahead and actually had the reflective side face in, so potentially any heat trying to escape the windows maybe doesn't. The suction cups that came with them aren't the best because some of them are kind of floppy, but for the most part they work for what I'm mostly concerned about, which is privacy. So no one can see in the Jeep, and I just feel more comfortable, you know, that I'm not being watched or anything along those lines. But even so, they are covering the windows, so potentially stopping the cold from getting in, or rather the heat from escaping even a little bit. The rest that we got here is just my gear. So I had a nice hot cup of tea, got a little cheese midnight snack in the event that I'm either hungry or need to get my body warm. A good thing to get your body warm and below freezing temperatures, if you are cold, is to eat fatty foods. It'll get your body working and raise your temperature even a little bit. Got the cooler here actually with food and whatnot in there, and just the rest of the gear here. So I'm currently actually laying in a Coleman 0 degree sleeping bag with a very warm comforter over that and a very thick wool blanket over that. I have long johns on and wool socks, as well as a t-shirt and my flannel on top here. With all this, as I've tested, I should stay very warm throughout tonight, even though it's going to get down to like 18 degrees tonight. It's going to be pretty cold. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and get some sleep. I've been driving in this Jeep for basically 12 hours, from 6 to 2 getting out here, then from 2 to 5, 2 to 6, off-roading, filming, all that stuff. So I'm tired, I'm gonna go to bed. It's cold anyways, so it's only warm in this sleeping bag right now. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Back to the camera with a beautiful view, by the way. We're running back to the camera. All right. Well, good morning.